the Gamers Table Independent Edition. It is Friday. And we're reviewing MERC.
But it's almost there. Just a few tinkers, and it'd be a really good game.
The people of Tanagra have hired you to lead their rebel forces to victory over the evil dictator, John. If you win and overthrow the dictator, the people of Tanagra have promised you all the profits from the industry for a year. You find that offer too tempting to turn down. MERC is an all-against-one game of cooperative strategy and tactics where you hire a team of professional mercenaries and try to take control of an island nation in peril. The game lasts for 15 days, rounds, and the winner is determined by whoever controls the most valuable land on the island at the end.
Hi, this is JT from the Game Crafter. MERC is an all-against-one co-op strategy game, where one player takes on the role of an evil dictator trying to defend his country against rebels, and the other players take on the role of rebels who hire mercenaries to take control of the country. MERC is a game for strategy gamers. You can play 3 or 4 players with the base edition and up to 7 with the expansion. The game takes about 15 to 20 minutes per player, and you can find out more at thegamecrafter.com/games/MERC.
MERC is a tough game. It seems really stacked in the dictator's favor when you start playing that game. And the more games we play through, the more it seems like, yeah, it is stacked in the dictator's favor.
I definitely like the idea behind the game.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things work well. I like the one versus many. I just found it wasn't very balanced at all. The dictator seems to have all the power.
Yeah.
Yes, it was very, very difficult. Well, I've got a MERC, a handful of militia, and you've got an army, and a number of MERC. You kill me. All my equipment drops where all your bad guys are. Now I've got to get back in there with my unarmed MERC, because all the other equipment that I found in the other areas just wasn't worth picking up. To get back at my good equipment. Not gonna happen.
Playing as a merc was fun. I liked it. Was fun until the dictator played a card and just hosed everything you did.
Most of his cards were.
I find the militia was too powerful because it's so easy for the dictator to get stacks of militia, and as a merc you have to be aggressive because you have to find where the dictator is, or you need to grab lots of territories, and you can't do that because there's mounds and mounds of militia everywhere.
Oh yeah, when we played, who was the dictator? Sean was the first one. Yeah, and there were black chips everywhere, and he ended up with 4 mercenaries on his home base, and this was like hardly.
Yeah, like turn 3.
Yeah, it was like turn 3 into the game, hardly into the game at all. And we're sitting there with maybe a couple stacks of militia each, and 1 MERC, some equipment, and we were just almost immediately overwhelmed.
So
what do we do?
The game starts by you setting up the island using some of these map cards. Green map cards.
Oh, yes.
Those will show up well.
On our suggestions, the author has included in the new version of the rules that you get if you buy MERC, a first-time setup. So it's supposed to sort of take it easier a little, or maybe balance a little more for the 2 sides. The dictator still just stomps all over you. We did win though when we did the basic setup. We did win, but it was like last minute come behind final battle victory.
You know, it's a one versus many, and I was on the many side, and it was fun just trying to maximize what we can do. It's one of those games you really, really need to equip your guys as powerful as you can. You need to build up safely and efficiently, and then attack. You can't go in to an area with a MERC and against like 5 or more militia, because then your MERC is going to die for sure, and then you're back to square one, and you have to rebuild in order to become strong enough again.
So I would like to also point out that this is MERC and the MERC expansion, so we have a lot more cards than you get in the base game. So this is everything, which means it allows up to 7 players, 1 dictator and 6 people against him. I'm thinking you might be able to win it with 6 players against him.
Well, because you would think the
yeah.
dictator would have to actually be more aggressive, because I think a lot of the big territory will be taken up if you have 6 players starting in different spots.
Yeah. You get more mercenaries coming at him, and it's not like
Well, I
okay,
imagine
1 or
the map
2
scale's
mercenaries
bigger,
going
right?
after
Yeah, it does.
the dictator with his like, oh man, the cards he had were just unbelievable. I'll just wipe this guy out. Wipe that area out.
There's a deck full of mercenaries that you get to hire from, and you hire a mercenary for each territory you control. If this deck runs out, there are no more mercs to hire. We've never had that happen, but it can happen. And they all have different stats in leadership, marksmanship, weapon damage, armor rating, medical, and repair. And a neat thing about the cards, they have, I'm going to hold it up here so you can see it over top of the big giant window there. A different color on this side, and the bottom, showing you where different equipment can attach onto that particular card.
Yeah, and there's the different equipments. And I really like the variety of different equipment in here. Mind you, we also got the expansion there, so it might not have that much
It doubles
equipment.
all the equipment.
Yeah.
Instead of 2 of each type, there's 4 of each type. I actually talked to JT today,
Yeah.
and he told me about that.
There's some neat ways you can combine your equipment in that, and there's some silly ways too. At the same time, putting a scope on top of an Uzi.
It works in terms of matching the
It
cards,
works,
but-
and if it helps you, in the game, it just doesn't sound.
No, because
right.
after you put the scope up to the Uzi and it starts punching you in face over
And
over,
the
you wouldn't use the
Uzi's
scope.
going nuts, like 30 rounds a second, or whatever the heck it is, or 20 rounds a second. It's just no point having a scope on there, is it? It's not a long-range weapon either, so there's just silly things like that. But other than that, everything kind of works together. You got equipment for equipment, attachments and things like that, But if you lose any of it in a certain spot, and then the dictator just piles up all his cronies on that area, good luck trying to get it back.
The most frustrating thing about mercenaries, or MERC, is the vehicles are too critical in the game. Your militia cannot move without a vehicle, and you really need to take the militia in to, if nothing else, to absorb some hits. But the way the militia are, they combat's done on a D10, on a 5 or lower, they hit, which is pretty good for someone you're just training on the field. And plus, not only that, but they're going to do 5 damage per hit. So if you think about your mercenary, he's going to maybe take 4 or 5 hits before he's dead. And these are the elite guys.
Wrapping up, for MERC, I give MERC a 6.5. Does it have a theme? The theme is military war, taking over an island, and everything you do feels like that. You never got anything that feels like it's tacked on there. Easy to play. There aren't a lot of rules really to it. Once you get through how everything works, it's like, okay, that's fairly simple. It's not hard to teach somebody, but
There's a lot of little
it's not a
things.
huge amount of fun if you're the mercs, because you're just going into the fact that I'm probably going to lose unless I really get lucky.
I would definitely give an 8 after it's been fixed, but as it is, I'll have to give it a 7. Because I really did enjoy it, even with all the flaws I found, or and the unbalancedness of it. But I enjoyed playing the mercenary. It was fun trying to maximize what you can do.
I'm actually going to give I'm going to give MERC a 5.5. It's always fun trying to improve your character or stuff like that, I don't know, when I played it, I didn't play the simple game, starter game or whatever with these guys. I was watching, but based on the other plays, it's way overbalanced in the dictator's favor. I know maybe we went about it wrong or something, but based on the dictator cards that were coming out, there was no chance of winning, and it was just like you're up against the wall. The dictator was able to build up his forces and spread them out way faster than you could do anything about it. And so I just found it way too overwhelming and unbalanced. So.
MERC, it's definitely got some flaws to it, but it's that close to becoming a real gem of a game.
So that's it for this episode of the Gamers Table Independent Edition. Tune in next Friday for another game review of another game. And for all of you that put in games in that big list, they have been shipped. The whole giant box full is on their way to us. So we should be seeing a big stack of games in the real near future.
We'll be very busy playing them.
Yes.
Time to go.
Hello and welcome to the Gamers Table Independent Edition. It is Monday, and we're reviewing MERC.
It's Friday, actually.
Yeah, that probably will make it.
Want to start over?
Yeah, I would think so, since it's the wrong day.